My name is Andrew Hudson, and the object that I picked that tells a bit about who I am and really how I think, which to me is a big part of who I am, is my son Ethan, pictured here as a newborn about 7 months ago. So first, he is family. I really enjoy hanging out with my family, getting together with my family, but that doesn't get to happen very often. My family, my cousins and I, and my parents and aunts and uncles are spread out around a good portion of the U.S., so it's rare that we all get together. But we did get together a little bit this last June, soon after Ethan was born. He was about 3 months old. We got to go out to California, where my wife's grandparents are on both sides of her family. Her family's a bit closer together. And he got to hang out with his second cousins a bit, which started me thinking about second cousins and patterns. And that's a big part of how I think, is in patterns. I'm a mathematician, math teacher. So patterns are big to me. I see patterns where other people don't. I see patterns where they probably don't actually exist, but I still see them. And so when we were out in San Diego, well, my wife's cousin is a photographer, so she took a few extra pictures of us. This is him now at 3 months and, well, our backs. While we were out there, I was thinking about second cousins and patterns. And there's a small pattern hidden in his second cousins. How so? Well, one of the more famous patterns anywhere, mathematics or not, is called the Fibonacci sequence. You start with a 1 and another 1, and then for each new term you add the previous 2. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and then 13 and 21, and you can keep on going as long as you want. He doesn't quite have a Fibonacci pattern in his cousins. What he has is something called a Fibonacci-like pattern. Instead of starting with 2 1s, it starts with 2 other numbers. On her dad's side, my wife is the oldest cousin by a fair bit, so Ethan is the first great-grandchild. We give him a number 1. On my wife's mom's side, well, there's a few cousins older than her, and they've had kids, so he's actually the third great-grandchild. And so that's a 1, and then a 3. So we're going to build a Fibonacci-like pattern, starting with 1 and 3 instead of 1 and 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, and on my mom's side, Ethan is the fourth great-grandchild. So he's the fourth of the second cousins there. And then 3 plus 4 is 7, and sure enough, on my dad's side, he is the seventh great-grandchild. So he has a little Fibonacci sequence in there. I also teach Math 120, Math for the Liberal Arts here, and we were talking about the Fibonacci sequence this semester, so I had to bring up my son. Mentioned him to the class, and of course I got a nice big groan out of it. The class felt sorry for my son that he was going to have to hear about this and be an example for probably a long portion of his life. There's actually something else that he gets to be an example of. Well, that I'll mention quite a bit. His birthday won't be well hidden. He was born on March 14th, Pi Day. So I'm a mathematician with a son born on Pi Day, a hidden Fibonacci-like sequence in his second cousins. And yeah, I sort of feel sorry for him as well. But dads embarrass their kids, right? So thank you all for listening, indulging me talking about my son. Oh, I should give a more current picture of him. That is him now at 7 months, so very recently. And thankfully, he's not quite old enough to be embarrassed by this yet. He will be soon, though, probably. Thank you, and look forward to the rest of the class.